Okay, thank you. Good morning. It's weird to have my back face to you, but I think it's gonna be a little easier for what we're gonna talk about today. So how's everybody doing?
Good.
Oh my gosh, I know. I feel bad too, like did you take your dogs for a walk?
No, not today.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
When I was leaving my neighborhood, somebody had this like standard poodle with the little boots on each paw. I'm like, it's so cute, but my dog would never leave those on. It would just be torture, so.
One of my other guys this morning, like he was out 5 minutes and when he was trying to get back in, his paws were hurting.
We have a Saint Bernard. If she could stay out all day today.
Yeah.
She would. This is her weather.
Yeah,
This is-
oh,
so.
that's so cute. It's such fun.
I opened the door to let my cat out and he loves to go out in the morning. He's an outdoor cat. I forced him inside at night. And he took out and put the skids on and turned right down.
What are you doing to me, Mom?
It's in the kitty litter box.
I'm in the smart category and terms of the animals, he said it's too cold.
Well, good morning. I think we'll go ahead and just jump into this. I first of all wanted to see if you guys had any questions or thoughts from last week that would be helpful, before we jump into. Today's session is intended to be mostly focused on AI and how you can best use it to create good presentations, assimilate data that and create narratives to share with your clients. And I think that's the biggest, what we talked about last week is the key is interpreting the data and having good presentations with our clients, because we tend to fall into that mode of just pumping out data for our clients. Well, everything's on marketing 40. Well, to us, it's like, well, duh, that means, on average, it's going to be for home 40 days. So they don't understand that. Like, they don't understand, that, well, then why did my neighbor's house sell in 2 days? And then it's like, well, because it took, your other neighbor 80 days to sell that. That's how averages work. And it sounds very elementary, but those are conversations that we need to have with people. So does anybody have any questions about it?
So I have just a basic question. So I went in and I did my own, notebook LM, but then it's part of Google, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
just wanted to clarify.
Yes, Notebook LM. So today we're really going to focus on utilizing chat and Notebook LM, and they're not the same. So you're kind of bouncing back and forth between platforms sometimes. And we'll talk about, I'll share with you my process, and then you guys can share with me what maybe you are looking to do. So and Notebook LM is Google, and chat is the other platform that I use, and that's ChatGPT. Okay. Has anybody started to dabble with Notebook LM? Yep. And do you want to share anything or any thoughts or any points of confusion or?
Honestly, it's really easy.
Super easy. I used mine for HOA documents. We had like 7 documents all in there, and it was just so much easier than reading all of the legal and flipping through and finding where to page it, when, to who, what happens if they're late, like fence regulations, just anything that I asked it stood out immediately, and it was great.
So for anybody who didn't hear, Courtney said she used it for HOA docs. Did you upload the docs?
Yep.
Okay, so she got the docs and uploaded them, and then it will summarize nicely. And then if you have a specific question, our fence is allowed, it's already read the docs, it's going to answer that for you. So, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Anything else you need for?
Well, I also, just for that specific thing, I was messing around with it and asked it to create an infograph.
Yeah.
And it created this cute little page that gave me just the basic information, the important stuff that just you can pass along.
So if you have a listing, so let's talk about the practical applications of it. If you have a listing in a condo association or an HOA, and you know the questions that most people ask, you could use it to print your infographic and leave it, in a cute little stand on the kitchen counter. Right?
And which program is it?
That's gonna be Notebook LM, and we'll talk about that. Anything else, Lisa? How about you?
Well, I did a New Albany, because I wanted to do what similar to what you did. So I pulled up New Albany sales from the Columbus Board of Realtors. But for individual school districts, you've got to do month to month. So I just took November, what was available, and did a cute little thing, and then I just pressed the button and said, do a video thing, and it just spit out this video thing in less than 20 minutes. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Be fun if you could do your own voice.
Which you'll be able to, and there'll be other applications, and I haven't gotten to the point where I've been able to research that, but if you wanted to then upload that onto your webpage, you're gonna put it on YouTube, right? So you're gonna upload it to YouTube, you're gonna title it, right? What's going on, whatever you're gonna title it. People are gonna find the video, share the link then to your website or wherever you want to share it. And now you've become the expert and nobody knows your voice versus the voice that, it's a pretty neutral voice.
There are programs, I can't think of the names off the top of my head, that you can work with and they will mimic your voice. You have to pay for them.
Descript.
Descript, yes, that's one of them.
All right, anybody else, any thoughts? Well, let's jump into Notebook LM. Now, again, Notebook LM is a Google product and you must have a Gmail account to utilize it. Your KW Gmail account will not work. KW blocks access to some of the Google. We have access to a lot of Google Suite, but it blocks access to certain things. So just go get yourself a Gmail account. And that's how you'll have to log in. So I'm logged in over here. So I'm logged in under my Gmail account. If you guys are on Zoom and you have questions, I've got the screen so minimized, just unmute yourself and ask the question if you've got a question. All right, so here is Notebook LM, and I'm going to take you guys to I'm going to take you to some of the things that we did last week just to walk you through. So Notebook LM will allow you to go ahead and create a new notebook. Okay, so if you're just starting and you've got nothing in there, I'm going to walk you through this, creating a new notebook. And I can now decide what my notebook is going to be. So does anybody have a thought around, and it could be a generic topic regarding real estate, just so I can kind of show you how this works. Does anybody have a topic that they want me to create a notebook? Okay.
Mary, I'm sorry, when you use the term create a notebook, what exactly are we creating? Is it a file or?
Think of it literally as a notebook, right? Think of it as a journal, a notebook, or I guess that's the way I'm going to. So yes, it's a file in a sense, but it's going to be the place that you're working out of for this specific topic. Okay. And maybe as we get going, that'll be a little bit more clear. Let me go back here.
I got in here and I started adding my listing presentation and my buyer's presentation because we had discussed that. And then I kind of didn't know what to do with that information.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about it. I'll show you. Can you see on the screen my different notebooks?
Yes.
I've got one untitled. That's one I was just starting. I've got the Central Ohio Real Estate 2026 Strategy, Mastering the Shift again. These are all different notebooks. And some of them are different topics. Some are just by accident that I went back in and I started a whole new notebook. I don't know if I can merge it. No, it doesn't look like I can merge them. Yeah, but I'll show you a little bit more about that as we go here. So, do you want to do a listing? Shall we just say listing presentation? Sure. Okay. We're gonna call, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna call this my real estate listing presentation. Okay. And now, do you see what's happening over here on the left side of the screen? It's researching websites, right? So it's going out to the internet and it's trying to find out what can it find out there. But maybe, so here we go, the best listing presentation, modern guide for 2026, 107 outside the box real estate listing presentations, scripts for your listing presentation. Looks like there's 7 more sources that they found. Top listing appointment checklist. Okay. Lux marketing presentation demo. Okay. So now I don't have any sources right here that I'm going to upload, but in our application, our listing presentation that we take on appointments is a PDF. We can upload that and say, I want you to refine this, right? I want you to take this and refine it. I don't think, in my experience though, that Notebook is the best place to do that. I almost feel like chat is the better place to do the refinement. This is more for like absolute creation. Does that make sense? I think of this more as my creative side to help me create something I don't already have. Does that make sense? Okay.
So I think it's like, these are different projects, right?
They're-
Instead of it's like notebook, like you can look at it as like, for whatever project you're working on, you can say, right?
Like literally think of your desk and think of like, I have a notebook for my listing presentations. I have a notebook for my buyer presentations. I have a notebook for market statistics. You know, just think of it and which one am I going to pull off the shelf and work with? And then you can go in and refine. And so I'll show you how I can use what I have and refine them. So
One thing, I typed in listing presentation and you typed in real estate listing presentation. I got totally different stuff.
this is, and guys, prompting is crucial. Specific. Now, what happens if I say real estate listing presentation for Central Ohio? Shall we try that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Weird stuff. Like, I got some stuff.
What did you get, Lisa?
I got 9 critical components for every real estate listing presentation, complete guide to winning a listing presentation, persuasive real estate listing examples, 10 real estate objections and overcoming them, overcoming real estate objections, how listing photos impact market performance, the power of storytelling in real estate. Here are the upcoming trends for 2025 and the RPR release of 2020 state of the listing presentation. So I mean, 2021 was old news. And then listing presentation, top 20 objections, what to say.
Okay,
I mean, it's not bad, but I was shocked it came up so different.
so again, it's researching. I changed it. And I just went to a different notebook. I just started a different notebook for this one. And I don't know how. Do you know, Renee, if I can go into that notebook and add another search to it for?
I've got to go.
I'm assuming you can take those documents going.
Yeah,
Whichever.
it didn't like that so much. Okay. 7 more sources. So let's come over here and just see. I am, it's okay.
You voted a source for it to do anything.
Yeah, you don't have any sources of it.
Yeah, we're gonna get out of source.
No, they're all here.
You have to import them.
Gotcha, sorry, thank you. Okay, so for those of you, it came up with all these sources. Now you might look at them and say, I don't really want all of those. Like, I don't really want scripts at this point, right? Scripts might not be pertinent to what I'm trying to create here. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll uncheck scripts. I'm going to, that's the only one I'm going to uncheck. And now I can go and say, let's create a slide deck. So you see over here on the right-hand side, it's creating a slide deck. I can ask it to go ahead and create the infographic. And for kicks, let's just go ahead and click reports and see what it comes up with. So
So
I
then,
would,
I'm
I
sorry.
would like a blog post. Yes.
I'm so sorry, Mary. So then, if you have your own listing information, do you suggest putting that in a different notebook or putting it with these resources as well?
What do you want to do with your listing presentation?
What I would like is to get a slide deck, and I remember being able, and I don't remember if it was this resource or a different resource, you could make the video, but they were short snippets. So you could take a larger bit of information and break it down into multiple videos.
I'm not sure, Mel, on that. Like, I just had it, and we'll go in and try that. Did you had any access with that?
No, but I'm wondering if you upload it to YouTube and then put it in another platform and cut it.
Yeah.
Is what I'm assuming you're gonna do.
So I don't know that this is the platform. I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm not saying that it is the platform for that. This is more your creation platform.
Okay.
And
Thank
so with your presentation, yes, you can go ahead and upload it here and then ask it to create a slide deck. What I will tell you is every time you do it, you might get a different slide deck.
You do, it's totally different.
Yeah, like it just, it's almost like, it feels like it's got moods, right? I don't know, I don't quite get it. But if you're gonna do that, just be mindful, it's saving all of them, so it's okay, you can go back and find the one you really like. But every time you do it, it comes back different.
And
it's really
hard to go in and modify it here. Well, it's like you get what you get.
Yeah, you get what you get. That's exactly it.
When I was messing with this even last week, it was still in beta. And now there's a little tool next to it. I wonder if you can edit it more.
We'll give it a try. That was my biggest frustration, is trying to edit what they gave me. So now what I do is I take what they give, I download, and then I load it all over into chat. And chat will then give you what you want in a PowerPoint. And PowerPoint is super easy to go in and edit. Okay, and I'll walk you guys through that because I don't want to lose you. I know we're talking between platforms, but think of this as the creation platform. I want to build something and I don't know how to do it. And you can find your sources. You can find the sources that you want to rely on from the internet. And I'm going to go back and show you that, because that's going to matter. Like, some of this stuff that pulls in may not be pertinent to Central Ohio. It may not be pertinent for the presentation that you're giving. So you do have to have some skin in the game there, right? This is not just a click it and print it or click it, send it to your client. So we'll just look real quick here. This is the infographic that it produced. And so we've been doing this, I don't know, 7 minutes, maybe it's been on this task. Here's the infographic for, no, so you can see it. For win the listing, okay? Have your pre-sale strategy. Property and neighborhood intelligence, the comparative market analysis. Every seller expects the agent to answer the following during their meeting. What's my home worth? What will you list it for? What's the estimated sale price? How will you get it sold and how long will it take? Phase 2, nailing the appointment and closing. General market trends, property specific pricing and marketing plans, empathy first, assume the close. Okay, this is clearly not something you're going to give your client. This is for you as an agent to kind of go back and say, am I nailing all of these points in my listing presentation? And if I'm not, then I need to go back in and refine my presentation, right? Here's a blog post. Okay, so let's just say you were looking to build a real estate team, or you were looking to attract people into the real estate industry. You could say, here are my top steps for getting a real estate listing. It's just a blog post. It wrote it for you, right? The hidden game of real estate, the most important, and it just goes through step by step. And the video, or this, I'm sorry, the slide deck is still being generated. So while that's generating, I'm just going to take you guys out of this one. And into what we talked about last week, okay? So this data that I uploaded last week you guys see over here on the left-hand side, all of the sources. I uploaded individually all of the housing reports from Central Ohio. So I went into Columbus Realtors. You guys don't know where to get this. Housing reports from Central Ohio, monthly housing statistics, and you just go in and you click on and you download them. Okay. Now, what Lisa was saying is she was trying to do New Albany, right? Am I correct there?
Yeah.
And so when she goes into New Albany has the corporation and then the school district. So you end up needing to download both. So it's going to take you a little bit more time. But if you want to give somebody a snapshot of what happened in New Albany in 2025, this is what you're going to do. Once you've done the work, once that data is there, you've got it on your computer. You can now upload it and use it in chat. You can use it to write a synopsis. You can say, I'd like graphs and charts around the housing data. And if you're looking for a whole market overview, like maybe for social media, maybe for your website, maybe for your blog post, maybe for things that you're trying to incorporate on the internet for people to find you, you might go more general. Does that make sense? Can you guys think of an application of where you might use this? Other than the places that I just gave.
Well, if you get one, you can embed it in an email. Say you're working with, a potential person, you could embed a video in the email in order for them to view what's going on and have general market. You could also create your pre-listing package in there. A buyer presentation, you can email it directly to them. Running through all these ideas, zipping through my head right now.
And they're all perfect. And so and so in your notebook, you're gonna have that, and you can rename it, and you can say, this is my housing report update for January 2026. And this is gonna be embedded in the newsletter that I send on my database, so they know what's going on. And maybe it's a video that you're sending to your database, and maybe we decide that we want that video to be a 45-second video. Right, and I don't know if we can do that here on this platform, but there's gonna be lots of places that you're gonna be able to do that. Are you seeing the capabilities and the importance of doing this? Because if we're not,
Somebody else.
somebody else is. Somebody else. Jasmine, yes.
No, I mean, there's just so much that can be done with even particular clients, like sending them updates as they go along. New buyers or whatever, like for every step of the process. You can send them a video.
Every step of the process, and you don't have to be the person doing the video. Right? I mean, you would get them from the mortgage guys, right? That here we are, market in a moment, market in a minute type videos. So that's a great application. Anybody else? Any thoughts of how you would use this?
That's a big thing. I'm doing a LinkedIn presentation for your whatever chamber organization, blah, blah. Thinking about adding in information about like what's happening in an area like school levies or something like that you could add into there too, that just gives another layer of what's happening in that community that might impact you as a home buyer.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And if it were me, I would want to control the data that it's analyzing, right? So you're going to go to whatever your municipality is or the organization, whoever is reporting the data, and upload it and give a synopsis of how it could impact their home ownership in that community, right? What's a big one that you guys can think of? Wow.
Westerville's got a huge levy. They're trying to get more taxes.
Okay, so Westerville's a good one. Sue?
Ohio Realtors is with the Chamber of Commerce and another entity that are advocating to fix property taxes. So you could ask ChatGPT to distill that. It's very complicated. I've taken notes on a million times, I still understand it. But that's something we could send out because that's on the top of everyone's mind. What's going on with that property tax?
So should we try to do that in chat? Shall we jump over to chat and see? The one I'm thinking about, and Holly and I talked about it last week, is Dublin school redistricting.
I was just gonna say Dublin.
Yeah, Dublin school redistricting. But there's no answer yet, but people, if you wanted to provide a data source, you could say, pull data from, the Dublin City School regarding the Dublin City School District redistricting, right? And it's still gonna tell you we don't know, but at least you're giving people something, a source of information.
When I see people, one of my condo listings is the Columbus address to Dublin schools.
Yes.
From Arlington, who can't afford the property tax. Percent and elderly couples that have $400 a month last year on their taxes.
$4,800
$400 a month. So yeah.
$400 a month.
It increased, yeah.
Yes. And so when I told them that Ohio Realtors and the Chamber of Commerce were putting $150,000 into advocacy to, fight these increase in school levies that they willy-nilly put on ballot boxes, they were thrilled to hear about it. They didn't know about it. So I think that's something we could market. They listen, we're trying.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And it's information you're taking to your clients. That's the thing people are craving. In this world where information is at our fingertips, we still want to be spoon-fed the information, right?
Well, it might be at your fingertips. It's still hard to find.
It's so hard, and you don't even know. If you're not aware that anything's being done, what would cause you to look for it, right? Yeah, you're absolutely right. So
Misinformation, there's so much misinformation.
Right. Right.
So if you find a source that you can trust, that's huge.
Yeah. And I think that that's the key, you guys. So you're prompting and vetting the sources, right? Because we've all seen we've all seen the sensationalized headlines about things. Well, Barb sent me one. Okay, Barb sent me one last week. 347,000 homes are taken back by banks in 2025. Right? Seems like a big number. It's minuscule. It's minuscule in the scheme of home ownership, but that was intended to grab the headlines. And if you're not thinking critically around how that actually equates to consumers, you could get sucked into it too, right? You could be at the listing table and they might say something like, I saw this headline where there's foreclosures are happening all over the place, right? Well, if you're doing your job as a realtor, part of every week should be, assessing, current headlines and then being able to counteract it. If you can't, that's okay. Just take it and don't research it. Okay, so this is just to give you an idea, guys, from the presentation that I did last week. These are all of the resources that I created out of uploading the market reports from Columbus Realtors, right?
Does it cite the source?
It does on that left-hand side.
Okay.
It's telling you, you're saying what sources to use. So yeah, it's on that's why you need to pay attention. So rather than just saying, oh, I used Notebook LM or I used chat will cite all of the source. And it's really important. And so the broader the question on a topic with lots of sources, it takes a really long time for it to go through the data. But so these were all of the things that came out of me uploading the.
Eric, can you show me how you titled your notebook? I was just playing with this and I can see where it was easy to title.
So let's go back into this one, this untitled one. So I go over up here, sorry, got up here, Sue, and just type it in.
So sorry if I missed this earlier too, did that, those aggregate data reports regarding costs, et cetera, did you get that from, Notebook LM, or did you go to the Columbus Realtors market share report independently?
Independently. So Columbus Realtors took the data, took the reports, downloaded them, uploaded them, right? So we think of these things as just being press a button and it's done. It's not. Like you're downloading, you're uploading. I highly encourage you, if it's information that you're going to use, create a file on your computer, create a folder on your desktop and just drag stuff into it, or create, as many folders as you want. So it's at the ready when you need it. So you're not having to go back in, download. You're uploading if I have to do, but then downloading, because it takes time. So let's go over to chat real quick. And I'm going to bounce out of this one because my chat knows my KW. I don't know how that's done. So it's okay. Okay, what do we want to ask Chad about? What do we want to ask Chad about that we can create a presentation around?
value breakdown in Columbus by like area. I think.
Okay. Um. So here it comes. So I said, tell me how property values differ in various areas of the Central Ohio housing market. Median home price in December of 2025 was 270. However, that doesn't seem consistent with our other reports, right? So if you don't know the data, that wouldn't be a red flag to you. So it's kind of a signal you need to know your data. The general trend, Columbus proper is more affordable than many suburbs, but affordability varies. Okay. Short North, 500,000 is the median home price. Old Town East is typically under 500,000. And then neighborhoods, Clintonville and Central Clintonville.
Black House.
This one?
Yeah.
Suburbs,
That's Joe Rubler,
which one?
Haven's Corner.
Which one?
It's off at Haven's Corner, so.
Oh, I know which one. Oh, God, I see. It's on the water.
Yeah, Cold Snap.
Oh,
Okay.
Mendoza's house.
So then it's gonna say, if you'd like, I can provide a table comparing median prices by specific neighborhoods or zip codes, okay? So I'm gonna say, yes. Create a table. Create a table. So here's the table. Where could this be helpful?
Relocation buyer.
Relocation, you're sitting with people. I don't even know that they have to be relocation. You're sitting with buyer clients. And they have an idea that this is what they want. They've got a budget of 500,000 and they'd really like to be in, where's five? They really want to be in Bexley. They'd really like a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath in Bexley. And their top price point is 500,000.
I'd like to work on it.
So rather than like not laughing like many of us did, you know, we can say, it might be helpful if I can give you an idea of, right, where price points are going to fall. So now, how to read this table. And then it's going to go on and say, break this down by zip code. You can do all these things. And I'm going to just say, create a PowerPoint. It's going to tell you all the slide titles. Now, what would make this more accurate is if you took the actual housing reports from Columbus Realtors and uploaded it, right, into chat and said, use these. Now, it's only going to chat will only let you upload 10 documents. Which, so
At a time. You can load more.
at a time, but if you're, so you can then go back and add and say, add these to the presentation, but just keep that in mind. It's going to limit you to 10.
I wonder if you could get the information from RPR as well. to get more of a comprehensive.
Yeah, and just upload.
Yeah, 'cause
One
it would have
document.
like the walkability and all that other stuff. Pulled from there, just curious.
So I'm gonna ask it to create or convert to a PPTX file I can download.
It's too bad you can't connect it to,
Notebook.
well, not notebook, but like the MLS.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of controversy around that. So Lisa's thought is it would be nice if they could talk to each other. The problem is talk about losing control, like anything that requires a login and a password. I think their capability is out there. I don't know that it's necessarily the best thing for us. But I agree, it would be a time saver. I do think if you just start getting in the habit, what this is doing is it's elevating our presentations. And if we're not elevating, somebody else is out there elevating. So where we used to just sit with somebody and they'd say, well, what do you think about this? You tell them what you thought about it, right? And that's still gonna happen, don't get me wrong. People are, gonna pick your brain and you're gonna weigh in on what you know, but somebody else is gonna be behind you with something that leaves a little bit more lasting impression, perhaps. So that's why I want you guys to get comfortable with this. So here we go.
You have to log in.
Where'd it all go?
Well, let's switch to a chat, GP 5.2.
Yeah, do you guys have that?
That's the new version. I started using chat for that one, and that was. No, you can.
No, I think it's just a version of it. It's like when you update your phone.
Yeah.
Like the new, yeah. And you can pull that little arrow down. Yeah. You can use it. That's not why you would, but.
Yeah, so what Renee said is it is a little frustrating when you're working on something, just like I was, and now you're basically going back into recreate. It's okay. It will all get better. Because what I want to show you guys from this, if you're not, does anybody here work in like PowerPoint regularly? What I want to show you when we go into PowerPoint, is what you can do to up the game there. And this I'm doing quickly now because I lost what I just did, but just I want to show you what this can look like. So here's my PowerPoint. This poor computer gets used by so many people. It doesn't doesn't know who's using it right now.
Doesn't compute.
Wheel of Fortune will probably pop up there.
Okay, so here we are. Here's the PowerPoint. Pretty lackluster, would you say?
Pretty boring.
Yeah.
So if I go to enable editing, I can click on this right here that says designer. And it will now give me all of these options for slides. And Jan, that's what I did when I was messing around with yours. So I can pick this slide now. I can say, I kind of like that one, right? Maybe isn't us, it looks like a little California-ish. But you could then say, okay, well, I wanna change that picture out, right, yeah. And it's gonna go ahead and allow you to quickly, literally with the click of a button, decide what slides you want. Okay, so maybe I want something that, this looks more, this data looks better than the last one, right? Median sale price is 320. Inventory is up year over year. Days on market is increasing. Mortgage rates, it's no crash, no frenzy, strategy driven market. My chat knows me because I did a couple presentations around this. So it's drawing on its past experience to use that language. That makes sense. So I may have to tell it, hey, create this for a home seller who has no past knowledge of what's happening in the Columbus real estate market. But this is how easy it is in PowerPoint to make this very boring presentation look like something you spent a day on. That help? Did you know that was there? No. Okay, yeah, it's really cool. Why prices vary across Central Ohio, right? Anyway, so I just wanted to share that with you, and then it just goes on. Urban core pricing, Italian Village, German Village, Clintonville. I think I'd want to go back in and edit this, but if I wanted to, let's just say, I'm not exactly convinced that the Clintonville pricing is 325, right? I can go back in and edit that. Emerging areas, I don't know many places in Central Ohio, period. You can find something for 175,000. But so those would all be things that I would want to go back in and edit. Does that help? Is it too much? I mean, is it too overwhelming for you guys?
It's a lot, not, I think it's just, there's so many.
Enough
options
overwhelming. Yeah.
That it's too, it's not, I don't think this is as complicated as we think it is, but it also, you can start off in one spot and lead down many different funny paths where you're like, whoa, this is
Not where I want.
now it's overwhelming.
So what do you guys think would be the best standard of practice for your business? What would you do to say, this is how I'm going to incorporate this in my business? I recognize that it would be easy to go down rabbit holes that I don't need to go down or that I'm not necessarily have the time to go down. How could you take this and incorporate it into your business on a regular basis?
Well, what I just came up with a great idea. We each take a different area and explore that area and then we share.
I love that. I love that.
And then that way we have something ready for a particular area. And it breaks it down into smaller chunks. And then I think there's so many different applications to use it that having it, just ready to go.
I think that's the key. I think you have to identify what you want to focus on every month. And I think you need to time block a couple of hours a month for data research. And it might be 2 hours. You might just say, I'm going to give myself 2 hours a month because you guys, if this is your full-time profession, you need to know the information, right? How many of us find ourselves doing the research right before we're going on an appointment? And don't get me wrong. I mean, we're doing the specific research right before we go on an appointment, but have you done the general market Are you going on enough appointments to keep your knives sharpened, right? So that's what I'm gonna encourage you, because then once you have that data and you're just saving it in files, it's right there for you to upload into, and you know what, your curiosity is gonna grow.
Yeah.
Your curiosity grows and you start thinking of better questions to ask. Who's been on an appointment when somebody's asked you a question that you literally should have known the answer to? All of us.
All of us.
All of us. Absolutely all of us. And I'm just gonna encourage you that, yes, if you do something cool, share it. Share it with this group, share it with a couple of people that you're close to. Because that's how we all get better, is sharing that information. Most of us are not going on the same appointment, right? Or most of us are not vying for the same clients. And so sharing is really, really important.
Mary, wouldn't be, one thing would be good would be comparing it from last year to this year.
Yeah, and that's what I did. That's why I uploaded all of 2025 and 2024, although some of the reports were missing. And for some reason, and Sue, I look at you because I always think you'll know everything that has to do with Columbus Realtors. 2023, the housing reports weren't there. Yeah, do you remember when we used to be able to go back in and get that one chart?
Yeah. It's not there now?
I don't know where it is. So I can call Columbus Realtors and find out, but I couldn't find it usually.
I wonder if they changed the provider or something.
That's what I'm wondering, yeah. And 2023 reports, it just said AIR 500, so the reports weren't even in there, but I don't know, how important it is to go back up.
So, one of the things I've been frustrated with, like ChatGPT, is trying to work in Canva, so creating a presentation or something in Canva or postcards or something, and I download the PDF, upload it in Canva, and it's like, or upload it into ChatGPT, and it says, oh, do this, this, and this. I'm like, can you do that for me? And it can't, as far as I can tell. So this is interesting in that, okay, I can actually download a presentation file. So I don't use PowerPoint at all. So now I'm kind of wondering, okay, how much should I be using Canva? Should I switch over and using PowerPoint more? Do those programs integrate with each other well?
PowerPoint and Canva.
Okay, so I can download a PowerPoint and then load that in Canva.
I believe so. I'm gonna point to Renee, because Renee does more of this. She had great luck. You wanted to share what you did over the weekend?
I was trying to revamp our social media templates, so I just plugged in one of our templates and I said, can you make this more of a luxury presentation? And it kicked out these, I thought they were amazing graphics. And I'm like, I could spend days and never figure out how to recreate it. So I asked Chat, I'm like, can you give me a step-by-step guide in Canva to recreate this? And I mean, it took me a couple hours with the first one, just going, okay, where do I find this? How do I get to this? But then after that, I picked up 4 more over the weekend. Probably spent, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. And each one got better, but then I was trying to add new things and find new things. So it'll give you a step-by-step how to recreate it. And then I also use the Canva AI and ask it questions too, but
So
it's
when's
pretty
your class?
amazing.
When's your class?
Maybe next month.
Next month, we're gonna do social media, so you guys can see. But she did great stuff. So, but is there a difference? Do you have the Tate version of Canva? So Renee, do you notice any difference or?
And she does, you do.
She
have
does,
to-
she
Yeah.
does.
It's pictures and graphics that you get more
Do you have the
in the page.
paid version of Chat? Have you connected your Canva and Chat?
No.
Oh, so you can actually go in and connect. If you go, I think it's apps. You can connect certain things. They don't have a lot of options, but Canva is one of them.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's right here. You see apps on the sidebar.
Yeah.
Great with Canva.
So then that allows you to ask it to create something in Canva for you.
Yes. I haven't done a whole lot with it, but I'm fairly sure it'll at least make it easier for you.
So ours was not connected.
Does it matter if it's like under a different Gmail or PW Gmail?
Yeah, so I just connected it. It went that quickly. So what else can we connect here? That was a great, thanks, Courtney.
When's your class, Courtney?
Yeah. So like, if you want to use chat to plan a hotel, to plan a vacation, you can use it connected to booking.com and it'll book your
That's the
hotel
one here.
rooms.
I saw it.
Adobe Photoshop, OpenTable, Spotify, TripAdvisor.
Target.
There aren't a lot of options that like pertain to our business right
Uh-huh.
now, but every time I look, there's more to connect to. So.
And there's Airtable, add structured data to ChatGPT. So if you wanted to use Airtable for things, go ahead. I don't. Oh, I. So I want to take you guys back though to. Okay, so I want to take you back to. Chat. I swear. I haven't left. Okay, so Holly, on that topic of, the Dublin school. So I just typed that in, tell me about the Dublin, and I haven't had a chance to review this, but create a create an infographic. So I'm asking it to create an infographic. We'll see what it comes up with. I don't know that I think Notebook LM does a really nice job of creating infographics. But sometimes you'll just copy and paste. So sometimes I'll have chat do something and I'll just copy the text or copy the image in and I'll put it over to Notebook and Notebook will redo it. And I think does a nice job. So here's the infographic. And it's saying I can reformat this for social media, email, or print, can make a branded version. I can deliver it as a PowerPoint or a Canva ready layout. Because Courtney taught us how to connect. Okay, so here it is. I don't think it looks great. Does anybody would agree?
Oh, my goodness.
It's just a little work.
It's ready for Minuteman to print.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna say I'd like a PowerPoint. But what I can do, so I just want to show you this. I can take all of what it told me here. And it sees all your sources. You guys see that? Like down here, it'll show you. So I'm gonna copy that and I'm gonna go back into Notebook LM, if it's still around here for me. So what I'm having to do here, guys, I got logged out because I had too many things going on apparently. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna create a new notebook. I am going to copy all of that text that I just didn't copy for me. Okay, so I copied and pasted all of that into Notebook. Sorry, guys. So it's taking all that text. And now I'm just gonna take it over here because one of the quickest things to do in Notebook is create an infographic. So I just plugged in what's happening with the city of Dublin, rezoning, redistricting. And I want to see what kind of infographic it pulls up. And for anybody who's working with buyers right now who've been sitting on the fence for years because they're waiting for what this is gonna look like, this might be something that you can share with them. Or it might just be something to have ready for your listing presentation. Because if people are sitting on the fence, it's a good explanation to homeowners who you're proposing to sell their home for, why people are hesitant to pull the trigger right now. Because they want to know what schools their kids are going to be in. But, you know, all of this to say, guys, anything that you're looking to try to illustrate or to share with your database, share on social media, share for an open house, share for whatever purpose, this is really going to be the place where you don't have to employ your creative talent. I can't use Canva. I literally do not know how to use Canva. I would rather spend hours with downloading, uploading been fighting with Canva, and then I get so mad, I just leave. So you must be good with Canva. Patience, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this might be easier to do and then upload and then reformat it in Canva. I tell Canva to use it. What's it called, Renee? The magic wand or something?
Yeah.
Magic
Yeah,
Studio?
Magic Studio.
Yeah.
Magic wants changed, right? But there is one.
Yeah, it looks like a magic wand. It is. It is,
It's your fairy godmother.
yes. So what else? What other, I know we bounced around, but unfortunately, that's kind of the MO between using these. What is anybody going to do differently or do with this info for this next week? Nothing?
The biggest thing is that you just have to get it.
Yeah.
And you have to make mistakes. It's the same thing, like, when we first went to Facebook, everybody's like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this. And then you just have to get in there and do it.
Yeah, you do or you don't, right? And I think that that's just the decision we all get to make. I mean, this is our business and we get to decide. I've decided I really like this because I really like to show up polished and with data that's going to resonate with people. That's who I am. You might say, you know what, I'm just a toe to toe. My clients just trust me. They trust what I'm saying and that's okay too. I'm just encouraging you that if you're in these situations where you're competing for listings, that you might want to, or you're competing for buyers, or you need to step it up because you've got a listing that's stale and you need to step it up. I would highly, highly encourage you guys to use these resources to elevate whatever you're doing digitally. Okay. They're also really good for scripting. If you want to help explain something to somebody, if you want the right words, if you want, and you can say, I want you to elevate that. I want you to take that down to a 3rd grade level or a 4th grade level. You can do all of that right here. And it's gonna start to change, who you are.
I want to take, how we get packets of stuff, notes and stuff. I want to take all that, put it in there as a PDF and load it up and have it like explained in a shorter version, so I don't have to keep it. All, because if I do it in the PDF, I'll never reread it. But if I have it,
Pictures, and you can upload the pictures.
I wouldn't need to read that.
Because you can upload it and you'll kick it all out. So you know, put it in the PDF.
Well, you
Your
can
notes.
scan it through the computer, fast scanner though too, and just upload it
Yeah.
too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do pictures if it's like a 1 or 2 page, yeah.
Will it read handwriting? That's the.
Yes,
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
So I said, if you have notes, just take pictures of your notes.
Yeah, if I go on a stage and my speakers work, my writing, I get home, I take photos, get into back to speed, so that you can see the checklist. Then I go in and edit it with the rec, and then in like 30 minutes, I can email my client back.
Why didn't I think of that?
I think it's easier to just try to scan, just take a picture of your notes.
Wow.
That'll
That's a great
summarize
idea.
it and bullet points and everything. It's much easier.
And that's if you have handwritten notes, not just typed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, and Braille,
the better in your handwriting, the better.
The output.
Sure.
That sometimes it comes up with weird things based on handwriting, but you gotta proofread it.
Wow.
So it's a lot of data here that this is still trying to create the infographic. Usually the infographic is the fast one. But I'm happy to share the outcome of this with you guys if you don't want to hang around, but you're more than, I'm going to hang around to see what comes out. What else? What other questions do you guys have? around.
Question so much of it just really seems like you're using these two together for your output that will go in ChatGPT. You're gonna start in one, work in the other, and then probably come back. You're gonna toggle back and forth through the process of getting what you want. So I say start in Notebook LM, take it to ChatGPT, make some edits, drop it back into Notebook LM, and then spit out my infographic. Take that, put it back into ChatGPT, edit and drop it back. So
You could just keep going back and forth, yeah.
you get
And
the format and the what you want.
that's exactly it. And I just feel like chat does a better job of taking all data that's already there, like our flyer presentation, our listing presentation. It does a better job of reading that and then giving us output. I don't feel like, have you tried it in Notebook, Renee?
Yeah. I'd like to see where
The
this
Notebook do okay with it?
It's the one that created the podcast.
It created the podcast, right, but it didn't redo the presentation.
No, I did not.
Right, so like if I want to revamp my presentation and have it in a format that I can go in and change text or change photos or whatever. I don't think Notebook is the place for that, but Notebook's gonna take it and it's gonna create all these different mediums.
I'm wondering now if we upload it into chat, I think we can't, but
Yeah.
if I could.
Yeah,
But then I think about like just an immediate application, right? So I have a pretty standard listing presentation that I use and then but that's depending on the market, right? So if I take my listing presentation as I have it right now, drop it into ChatGPT because I use it pretty regularly and I fed it information about myself to say, based on what you know about me, how would you like, what would you recommend, like, how would you update this?
yes,
Then take that, put it into Notebook LM. And then break it down into like infographics or summaries that you could use as one pagers to have it ready when you have a spontaneous, I meet you somewhere, blah, 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 just put it out in my web pager or.
take them to open houses.
Yep.
For-
Into,
Yeah,
after to social media.
yeah.
All sorts of things.
So here, let's see let's see if we like the infographic. Sometimes we don't, sometimes they're terrible. I wouldn't, they're terrible. So Dublin civic transitions.
Oh, what a nice way to say it.
Yeah, so rezoning, economic innovation, modernizing 370 rural acres into research and flex industrial. Yeah, I don't think it actually. Oh, I see. Okay, so it takes economic innovation to capacity rebalancing. Yes, who said what a nice way to say that? Yeah, what a nice way to say that.
Sounds so smooth. It sounds much more luxurious than.
And aligning high school attendance boundaries to address enrollment growth and building overutilization. Redistricting paused and reset. Boundary changes are paused through 2026, 2027. To reassess community feedback and redistricting criteria. Okay. Doesn't really tell us a lot, but it's kind of a nice graphic, right? It's something you could throw into your, you can brand all this stuff to yourself too. So I can copy this. So this is in Notebook LM. And the thing with Notebook LM is it's always going to have this little logo on it. So I will frequently just take a snippet of what's up here. And I will, gosh, I'm not on my own computer. How do I get snippet?
Use the keyboard.
How do you do that?
It's not easy. Little photo, it's like a little camera on there. For you to- No. It's on the top.
I don't know if it's just my computer, but I can't see anything that you guys are doing on the screen anymore.
Hold on now. I've had to bounce between so many.
Print screen, right here.
Okay. Oh, there's nothing. I gotta find Mal. Where is she? Okay. Okay.
Right. It's the number one. And then you should be able to just grab that.
Oh, here, let's do copy. Copy, and now let me take it, thanks, Lisa. Now let me take it back to. The chat, and let me say. Yeah, I won't keep you guys here, but I just think that, what you can create, this is where the time is involved. Like, you're not actually like sitting there, right? You're waiting for a lot of things to happen. And then you're looking at it and you're thinking, okay, I don't really want it to look like this. I want it to look different. But I think the real key to being successful with this stuff is having curiosity. And I think if you're curious about something, then you're going to keep digging deeper and deeper to get better solutions for what you're trying to convey in your mind, right? If you're not curious, you're probably not going to come up with as much, right? But if you're curious about things, it'll take just about everything and put it in a format that's easily explainable, or something that you can use. Or frankly, that you can teach yourself, that if you're trying to learn something, if you're trying to understand something, I think it's a great tutorial to get you through, those processes. Anyway, hope that was helpful. I feel like it was maybe more confusing to some of you than others, but is there any specific questions you can think of?
It's practical, as I'm getting a lot of people that my friends don't even know what, they can afford or not afford, so that's why I asked about this patient, so it's very applicable, thank you.
Yeah, and that's what's helpful, guys. If you bring me a specific challenge, we could talk about it on almost anything. You'll see if you go into my chat, you'll see you'll see many, many things. But like, I uploaded a home inspection report. I'm still not a huge fan of that, but because it was something that was inconsequential, I thought I'm going to upload the home inspection report and I'm going to ask it to summarize the home inspection report. Right? I think personally we have an obligation to still read through that stuff and be able to understand the context that it was written in. But they are definitely tools. And I think particularly for things like HOAs, I would still encourage you to know how to do that stuff, to know how to read through, to know where to find the documents if you don't have them. You can find almost every HOA declaration, anything that had to be recorded, you'll find on the recorder's office.
I have people that will say to me, I don't even know what to.
Yeah.
That's great. So I'm just like, where you at? It's great. Exactly. They're like, I've never even heard of it.
Right, so they've never heard of it, and you show up at their house for a presentation, you're gonna blow their socks off.
You just won.
Yeah, you're just gonna blow their socks off, and that's where I think it's really exciting, because there's a lot of people who are still using it like Google, right? They're using it to ask questions. There's nothing wrong with that. It's very helpful, right? Yeah, saves people's lives,
Right.
But it's not. It's so much fun. It's so nice. You're welcome. So if you guys have specific cases, I think that's where it's a little bit more helpful, like especially if you come in, you say, I tried this and this is, bring the use case and we'll be happy to work through it and see how you can level up that.
Thank you.
We're not to the point where we're running our business, like lead funnels and stuff through it. I'm not, that's not the way I'm intending to run my business, so that's not, like Lauren Lucas talks a lot about that, and I think that's great for, if that's what your goal is. That's not my goal, so I'm helping us in that.
Sometimes I find it because I know she's been in it for 2.5 years. So sometimes she's talking about things that none of us have probably even heard of.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you can do this and you can do, and I'm sitting there going, okay, where did she do that?
Yeah. And you can now understand.
Facts, yes.
And you can now understand though, just in our little thing, how many times I bounce back and forth between chat and notebook.
I
And
mean, you're showing the examples,
Yeah.
whereas in her presentation, I mean, it's, to me, I'm like this.
Well, the presentation is a lot of stimulation too, because you're trying to listen to what she's telling you. At the same time, things are happening on the screen that are sort of automated.
Yeah.
So she's like writing something and you're like, wait, I'm trying to like read that and listen to that and.
you know what I'm gonna do for you guys? I'm gonna work with Notebook to create a presentation for you that you can watch and follow specifically.
Fabulous.
I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, that's my goal. That's my goal. Then you'll have something, because we bounced around, like this was really, my goal was like roll up the sleeves. The hard part is it's not my computer. I don't have all my data right here and it's just clunky. And so I want to see if I can create something that'll help you, like 3 use cases that how you could best utilize this and send it out to you guys.
Thank you so much.
Okay, well, thank you. Thanks for your patience.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
No,